Adding positive and negative integers. Integers are whole numbers that can either be positive or negative. In this video, we'll be using algebra tiles to help us visualize what happens when we combine positive and negative numbers. Problem 1. 2 plus 7. Using algebra tiles, we can represent positive integers by these blue tiles. For example, 2 can be represented by these 2 blue squares, and 7 can be represented by these 7 blue squares. When we're adding integers or when we're adding tiles of the same color, the way we can add them up is just by counting how many squares we have altogether. So counting these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 plus 7 is going to be positive 9. Problem 2. Negative 3 plus negative 4. Using algebra tiles, we can represent negative integers using these red tiles. For example, negative 3 can be 3 of these red tiles, and negative 4 can be represented by 4 of these red tiles. So to add these up, we just need to count how many tiles there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 tiles altogether, but we need to be careful. These aren't just any color tiles, these are negative tiles. So our answer is actually going to be negative 7. Problem 3. 1 plus negative 1. So positive and negative tiles have a unique interaction when we combine them together. So what do you notice happens when we combine a positive and a negative? So hopefully you notice that when we combine a positive and a negative, they cancel out and we get 0. This is also sometimes known as a zero pair. When we have a pair of positive and a negative, they cancel each other out and we end up with 0. Keeping in mind the idea of zero pairs, let's go ahead and solve this problem. Problem 4. 8 plus negative 6. Here we have 8 positives, which is represented by these 8 blue squares. And we have negative 6 represented by these 6 red squares. Now let's go ahead and combine. We know that each positive is going to cancel out with a negative. So these are going to cancel. And we do that for each of these negatives. So what's 8 plus negative 6? How many tiles are we left with? There are 2 blue squares left over, so our answer is going to be positive 2. And finally, for our last problem, problem 5. Here, 4 is represented by these 4 blue squares. Negative 9 is represented by these 9 red squares. So now let's go ahead and combine these. Each positive is going to cancel out with a negative. So these are going to cancel. And how many tiles are we left over with? There are 5 red tiles left behind. So our answer is going to be negative 5. To summarize, when adding positive and negative integers, when we have the same sign, we're going to count up all the tiles. And when we have opposite signs, they're going to cancel out.